So it's Lindsay. Tell me, does this resonate with anyone listening? Which is this. And tell me on the replay too, because I know a lot of you watch this on the replay as well. It looks like this. You go into some sort of conversion event, whether that be a webinar or a live or a masterclass or a 5-day amazing launch. And you're like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill this webinar, launch event, conversion event, whatever you want to call it, with so much amazing information. You know what? They cannot possibly leave without knowing that I am the number one expert in what I do, because I'm going to give them so much information that everybody is going to be able to find some amazing fruit somewhere in what I've said, that they are going to think that I am an expert. Well, my friends, this is typically what most online coaches do when they create a conversion event to fill their group coaching program. They stuff these conversion events so packed full of information, it really leaves their audience very deer in the headlights look like, wow, I don't even know what kind of information just flowed over me. But not only that, when you overload your conversion events with so much information, this is what's going to happen. When you go and do those enrollment calls and you try to pull people into your group coaching program, you're giving them the perfect reason to say, Lindsay, you've given me so much information in this free masterclass. I have at least 6 months of work to do. Thank you very much. And this is just really, really making it so your conversion rates on your webinars and your masterclasses and launches are really, really low. Now, being an expert and having that expert status and giving them all the information around you being an expert, yes, you will be able to close a handful of people into your online coaching program. But honestly, if you really want to increase that, you're going to want to watch today's Grow Your Group Program Thursday, because I'm going to tell you how to actually structure that webinar. Now, I see a very special friend on Instagram. I want to say hello to her. And if you're watching, and I know you are, please put actually, let's do this today. This is what I want to know. What kind of coach are you? Tell me in the comments, who do we have watching today? Tell me, what do you coach? Heidi, it's so nice to see you. That is my dear friend, Heidi. I'm so glad that you're here. We're talking about conversion events on webinars, master classes, and those kind of things. Now, before I get started, okay, on Grow Your Group Program Thursday, hey, tell me what kind of coach you guys are. Let's hear it, okay? Before we get started and I give you the information that you need to know to increase these webinar show up rates. There you guys are. Hold on, let me read a couple of people here. We got a CRM and drip campaign strategist for any small business and real estate. Solid, super solid niche. Love it. A transformational life coach. Welcome. Love it. A virtual home declutter coach. Super needed. Love that niche. Heidi up here is an emotional health coach for empaths and HSPs. We've got a good group of people. Ooh, I got this one. Cravings and weight loss. And I help women of faith keep God's priority amid a diagnosis. Is that my friend Daphne? So as you can see on these comments, if you don't go and allow StreamYard to show your name, I have a child at the door. But if you don't allow StreamYard to show your name, you show up as Facebook user. Can you just give me a second? Hey, Sawyer, I am in the middle of a live. Please do not interrupt me. I'll be out in a few minutes. Love you, Sawyer. Hey, Sawyer, I'll come look at it in a minute. I'm dead serious. Mothering. Okay, there you go. That's how you mother. That's how you mother when you're on a live, and your husband's not around to rein them in. Okay. Hey, Daphne, I knew that was you. I'm so glad that you're here. So speaking of filling a group coaching program, I spoke last week as this is the sweet spot. in the year to start really planning your launch events and your conversion events for really filling your group coaching program. You want these things to kind of go off and be presented in September, sometime between September 6th, when the United States gets back from the Labor Day holiday and the kids are back to school and everyone's buckling down, sometime in September. You really want to be doing these launch events because it's the perfect time. People are no longer chasing the sun and they're buckled down and they don't have the excuse of the holidays and Christmas and like all these things that they're going to say, yeah, I'll join you, but it's Christmas. So it's just the sweetest spot to be launching, which is why I wanted to tell you what I know about how to structure these conversion events for maximum impact. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad. Sandy Lou, so nice that you're here. So nice that you're here. Glad you guys are here. Hey, Sarah, what's up? So glad you're here too. Okay. So before I get started on the perfect webinar, okay, the perfect webinar script and what everyone's doing wrong and why these things are not converting, because people love that you're an expert, but like that's not what they need to be leaving with, okay, is if you are looking to grow your group coaching program, I have an amazing, let me say it again, an amazing resource for you. It's a free resource. All you have to do is type yes in the comments. That's on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever you wonderful people are joining me from. Put yes in the comments. My team will DM you this resource. Okay. Sarah, I'm so happy you're. I didn't know the doctor. Are you a doctor now? Sarah is awesome. Okay. She's been with me for quite some time. And she does move at work. She's really into how important it is to move. Go follow yourself some Sarah because she's awesome. All right. So let's talk about this. As I mentioned thank you for all the yeses. As I mentioned at the top of the hour, most people go into these conversion events and you feel, and guilty as charged. Okay. If any of you have attended my webinars or my master classes or my launches, you know I'm a big fan of filling that thing so full of information that everyone's going to be blown away. All right. That's just like my natural state. But I'm here to tell you what you want to do is pull way back on the information and then pull back even more. And this doesn't really have anything to do with you protecting your paid information and not wanting to give it all out for free. What this has to do with is you overloading the people in the audience. If people's experience of you is, she gives me so much information, I am overwhelmed, people don't want to feel overwhelmed. And so they are like assuming your coaching program is that way and those kind of things. Also, you want to know, start with the beginner's mind. Most high level elite coaches that I help are so expert status at what they do. They are so heavily involved in what they know. They don't even know what it's like to not know what they know. Does that make sense? And so you go into it and you're like, well, everyone knows like what the perfect landing page is. Of course, like what fool wouldn't know that? I could do that in my sleep, but of course not. Like, you guys don't know what the perfect landing page is. I do because I eat, dream, and live it. Okay. So you got to step back and do beginner's mind. So this is that is the biggest point. Okay. Here, guys, you have to look at this webinar or this masterclass or this launch. And instead of, please listen, I'm going to pause and I'm going to take a drink because I'm about to tell you what you need to do. Ready? Dramatic pause. Here it is. You need to look at every single thing you're teaching in the webinar, that you're presenting in the webinar, every story you tell. And you literally need to say, how is that making a way for enrolling people into my coaching program? Okay. So if you're like, here's a cool LinkedIn strategy, and like there's nothing else around it, that's not going to get anyone closer to enrolling into your coaching program. What you want to do is be like, on LinkedIn, when you don't know what your social profile is, and it can totally suck that no one's responding to you on LinkedIn. If you do this, then you'll actually be able to start showing up in people's feeds and it'll be magic. Now, there's some other, strategies and systems you have to implement in order to get them to enroll in your coaching program. But this is the most amazing step to solve problem number one. So do you see what I did there? I basically, yes, I gave them a really great tip on LinkedIn that they need to go employ right now, but I still left a big fat door open on, yeah, I solved the first step of this problem. In fact, there's more to know. This is a half an hour masterclass. Can't cover it here, but there is more to know. You don't even have to say that part. You just kind of like leave it open so that it's a natural progression for them to sign up for your coaching program. And I want you to go through every single slide. I want you to go through every single story on your masterclass. And I want you to say, how can I structure this idea that I'm teaching, building myself up, giving them an aha moment, telling them I understand. So hold on, let me stop. Number one, I understand your problem. You know how on LinkedIn, nobody looks at your profile and that brings them close. Yeah, I do. Want to know the first step into making sure people see your profile on LinkedIn? Do this. Aha, they're an expert. That's awesome. Yes, but there is a gap here between your LinkedIn profile and actually enrolling, but this is the first step. So do you see how you're leaving them with an aha moment, but you're leaving the door open to get them into your coaching program? I think the most important point is this, guys. Don't teach on those webinars and those masterclasses and stuff just to teach. And because you're feeling weird and self-conscious that I've got to flood this thing full of information so they don't think I'm an idiot. Okay. No, this thing is just like a highly amazing, awesome mechanism for enrolling people into your coaching programs, and it should be viewed as such. You can't just show up to these things and assume that because your audience is engaged and they love you and it's awesome and they're like all in on you and they love you, that they're going to sign up for your coaching programs. It's not enough. There is a gap there, and the gap is urgency and the need and the way that they know that they cannot achieve that thing on their own, that they need your help. Okay. Let's talk about the mechanism now. So webinars, masterclasses, launches, these things are meant to be given live, interrogated and looked at and perfected and crafted. This thing is so just, you really want to focus on it. I know you just kind of want to like show up and speak from your heart, but there's so many strategies that you can implement and utilize to perfect this thing. And I got this strategy. I got this next point from Russell Brunson himself. He will tell you he had one webinar, one enrollment strategy, okay, for his coaching program, one. And he presented that webinar live 100 times. I think he said 100 times before that thing went evergreen. And I recommend the exact same thing to you. It's just like playing a piano song. Even if you're good at the piano, like I'm naturally good online, I'm naturally good teaching. I've been doing it for 15 or 20 years. But if I really want to perfect a piano song, what am I going to do? I'm going to practice that thing over and over and over again. And that is what I highly recommend is that you practice the thing live over and over and over. You perfect your delivery. You perfect your ability to hear what the comments are saying, and you structuring the webinar to address those comments, and you start practicing one sales mechanism to enroll people into your group coaching program. I'm telling you, this is the secret weapon. Most people will give a webinar and yeah, that was okay. One person signed up. Guess I'll try another webinar. Yeah, that was okay. I guess I'll change the topic again. Oh, there's another. No. Give a webinar. If one person signs up, or you get a lot of people being like, yeah, that was good, you have something to work off of. And so now it's how can I perfect it? And you start taking steps towards perfecting this piece instead of just being all over the place and trying 500 different things and not focusing on the thing. Typically, this is very fear-based why people do it, because they don't want to know that they're not awesome at what they're doing or teaching and those kind of things. But I'm here to tell you, every single one of you should figure out what your conversion event is and perfect that thing. I'm giving you $1,000,000 information here. I'm giving you $1,000,000 information. Do it live 50 times. Practice it. Then you'll play the most beautiful piano music ever. I promise this is key. Okay. So look at that. Look at every part of your webinar. Stop just giving information to give information. That's my point. That is my point. Now, I want to talk a little bit about expansion and contraction. Okay. First of all, say yes, or I don't want you to say yes in the comments because that's a different yes. I will say this. If you're just joining us, which we have some new people joining us, welcome to Grow Your Group Program Thursday. I am live every Thursday at 11:30 talking about how to grow your group program, grow, build, and scale these bad boys because it's the best business model ever. If you want a super amazing, free, valuable resource from me, all you have to do is type yes in the comments, whether that be on Instagram or wherever else I'm streaming today. And my team will follow up with you on how to get your little hands on this very valuable resource. Now, I want to talk a little bit about expansion and contraction in business. This came up hard in my coaching call this week for my Content That Converts program. And, here's the thing about business and life that you really want to be wrapping your brain around. And it's this series of expansions and contractions. And when you start seeing this in your business, you can also see it in your life. But I'm going to talk to you about seeing this in your business. You will start showing up so much differently. And this is just the way it goes. Take it from me. I've been doing this business building thing for the last 20 years. Okay. And it is always a series of expansions and contractions. That's how you get bigger and bigger and bigger. And so a contraction. It looks like this. Nobody's signing up. Everybody hates what I'm saying. I'm getting crickets on social media. No one's replying to anything. None of these strategies are working. And you get into this really heavy mode. And it's a lot like giving birth. Okay. My son's birthday was yesterday. I'm celebrating giving my last birth here. Okay. The contraction period, it's hard and it's painful. And there's an inner peace that really is hard because we are so tied up to our businesses. They're so important to us. But you have to know this. The harder that contraction is, the more it hurts, the more painful it is, the more you have to look at what you're doing and be aware of what is and what isn't working in your business. The bigger, if you make it through the contraction without giving up, okay, the bigger the expansion is. And so I know some of these contractions can be hard. Guys, I'm going quite literally through a 4-month contraction, okay, on some stuff that I'm working on. And this thing is like the longest contraction that I have been able to put my finger on. But I will tell you what. I know the expansion in my business, in my personal development, in everything is going to be amazing on the other side. I just know it. So I'm sharing this with you. Now, you're going to have periods of contraction and expansion that are big, like on a big level, like this 4-month one that I'm talking to you about right now that I'm in. But within that, you're going to have these other little cycles of contraction, expansion. It is the way that humans are created. It is how, how like an oak tree starts. Yeah, you guys know this. You know how, and tell me if this resonates with you guys. Give me some yeses if you know what I'm talking about and can look back on your business and life and see this period of expansions and contractions. I don't want you to say yes. I want you to say, give me a thumbs up or something. Okay. Does that make sense? And when you know it works this way, it makes the contractions so much easier. It's like giving childbirth. I know there's something amazing on the other end of this. It's going to be awesome. He might be knocking on my door during a live. Okay. Yes, but it's definitely worth it. Okay. Definitely worth it. And when you can really understand that in your business, the contractions do not seem quite so painful. Okay, thanks, guys. I'm getting some seeing it, sister. Sharon, so nice to see you guys. So it's a reminder, and that's the crazy thing. We all have to be reminded of this stuff. Every single day, you need to remind yourself this is how it works. And so I'm just going to go with it and know that this is just part of the pattern, and I'm good because I know on the other side, things are going to be freaking great. So it's a lot like a oak tree. Starts as a little unicorn, right? Unicorn. Acorn. Let's go with acorn on this one, Lindsay. Okay. Acorn. And how does that little acorn know to grow into a great and mighty, amazing oak tree? Because it just does. Everything on this planet is built to like grow and expand, and human beings are no different. Okay. We actually grow in a spiral like this. Okay. We get bigger and bigger this way. And the way we make it up the spiral is through a series of contractions and expansions. Very, very important to know because it empowers you when you know how these things work and why things are showing up in your business in whatever way. You are able to harness that power and education and know why it's happening so you can easier just go with it. And that is so what needs to be done. That which you resist persists. So if you're walking around being like, I can't fill my group program, this is hard, this sucks, I hate this is hard, nobody's listening. The more you resist that, the more it will persist. So it is in your best interest when you're filling a group coaching program, guys, to understand the series of expansions and contractions. And when you're feeling the contraction, okay? Easier said than done. I understand. I have given birth many times. Easier said than done. The more you can relax, the better the ride's going to be. And the quicker the contraction will end. It's the way it is in childbirth. It's the way it is with an oak tree. And it's definitely the way it is when it comes to growing your group coaching program. Okay. I will forever want an oak tree to start with a tiny unicorn. I love this so much. Maybe in another timeline, we can grow a oak tree from a tiny unicorn. Okay. So I'll just leave it at this. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. This is my favorite time of the week. I'm so passionate about growing group coaching programs. I'm really good at it. It's like my sweet spot. I'm good at it. And so I can talk about the nuances of it all day and share all of these insights with you. So mark your calendars, 11:30 a.m. every single Thursday. Meet me here. Don't miss it. John, nice to see you. So nice to see you, John. John, by the way, okay, I won't get into that. Well, actually, I am. You know what? John just signed up for my coaching program. He's awesome. Dude, does blackjack parties. Okay. He'll like go to your house and like you have a bunch of friends over. You can have like a fancy party and he'll like be the dealer and bring this amazing table. John sent me pictures of these tables. Like, I need a casino party at my house hosted by John. Yeah. John, sizzling hot. Glad you're here. Okay. All right. So that's what I've got for you today. Remember, look at those webinars. Don't give information just to give information. Be like a stealth ninja on these things and say, does that actually get me to my final goal? Intent on this thing is absolutely everything to increase your conversion rates. Okay. So that's what we talked about. Remember, contraction and expansion. It's just the way it works. Be appreciative of it. Know that whatever pain you're going through now will result in a very similar expansion on the other side. So bring more pain, more expansion. I don't know if you want to do that, but I'm just telling you how the world works. Okay, Cassandra, I'm so glad you're here. Daphne's here too. We got some sisters going on here. Okay, guys, you rock. Have a fabulous weekend. Now, don't enjoy summer too much because remember, the sweet spot for enrolling into group coaching programs is September. So plan a conversion event Take my advice here and go and fill those group coaching programs. Okay. You guys rock. I'll see you later. Say hello if you're on replay, and I'll catch you guys next Thursday. See you later.